How to meditate correctly according to Buddha's words through the story of a Zen master and a businessman. You have decided to start taking care of your mental health through meditation. But where to begin? How to start? What are the basics? What can be expected from proper meditation? And specifically, how to meditate according to the teachings of the Buddha. All these questions will be answered in this video. Meditation brings about very practical and clear positive changes in life. These changes are not just in your mind. Meditation has also been scientifically proven to promote mental and physical health. When we talk about meditation, we refer to the practice of concentration, the practice of samadhi. Continuous and focused attention from one object to another gives rise to the state of samadhi.
There are two types of samadhi. 1. Wrong samadhi, a state arising from continuously focusing on one object due to liking/disliking that object. Most current meditation schools practice this type of concentration. 2. Right samadhi, a state arising from continuous attention that is not focused on any specific object, leading to the eradication of greed/hate/delusion, discovered and taught exclusively by the Buddha. There are 4 levels of right samadhi: first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, and fourth jhana. The origin of the term meditation comes from first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, which are terms meticulously formulated by the Buddha to denote one of the 4 levels of the state of right samadhi.
Basic principles of practicing meditation. Make a commitment that you will not think about anything else, that you will only think about one thing, the grace of the Buddha, or the word Buddho. Focus firmly on your breath, thinking Bud with the inhalation and Do with the exhalation. Or, if you prefer, you can simply think Buddho in your mind. Keep your mind calm, then let go of the word Buddho so that you can only observe the inhalation and exhalation, nothing more. This means you concentrate your mind on one point. You don't need to pay attention to the mind with each breath in and out. Learn to observe your breath. Is a short inhale and short exhale more comfortable, or is a long inhale and long exhale better? Or is a long inhale with a short exhale, or a short inhale with a long exhale better? Learn to recognize which breathing pattern feels most comfortable, and then maintain that way of breathing. In summary, there are 3 steps you need to follow. First, be mindful of the word Buddho. Second, be mindful of your breath, thinking Bud with the inhalation and Do with the exhalation. Don't forget. Don't let yourself be distracted. The third step, when your mind is calm, is to let go of the word Buddho and not observe anything other than the inhalation and exhalation. When you can do this, your mind will become still. Your breath will also be calm. This state is referred to as the root because it is a good quality that deeply touches the heart. In other words, even if impurities come to disturb us, they can only touch the sensory doors, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body, without affecting our mind. For instance, when sights hit the eyes, they only reach the eyes and do not enter the mind. When sounds reach the ears, they only go to the ears and do not enter the mind. When smells reach the nose, they only go as far as the nose and do not enter the mind. This is why we say that the perfection of concentration is the core of what is considered skillful, because even though unwholesome deeds can take many forms, they cannot easily destroy a peaceful mind when it is stable and strong, just as insects cannot bore into the core of wood. The perfection of a concentrated mind is seen as the pinnacle. This state of mind also has an attraction to other forms of meditation. When the mind is still, the entire body feels it, so we do not engage in unwholesome actions with our body. Our speech is restrained, and our mouths do not utter unwholesome words. Simply put, every aspect of meditation is good. No matter how long you have practiced, even if you seem to receive no results, it is all good. Even if you simply repeat the word Buddho, it is good for the mind. When you are mindful of your breath, it is also good for the mind. When you can make the mind calm with the breath, it is also good for the mind. For this reason, meditation is something you should practice at all times, everywhere. I would like to share with you a story about a Zen master and a businessman regarding the practice of meditation. In a small village by a clear blue lake, there was a Zen master named Thich. He was known for his tranquility and deep wisdom. Every day, he would meditate by the lake, where gentle breezes carried the fragrance of flowers and grass. One day, a successful businessman named Nam visited the village. Nam was a busy man, always racing against time to achieve success in his business. However, he always felt that something was missing in his life. He had heard of Zen Master Thich and decided to seek him out for peace. When he arrived at the lakeside, Nam saw the Zen Master sitting in silence, sunlight illuminating the serene expression on his face. Nam slowly approached and bowed his head in greeting. "Dear Master, I am Nam. I have heard of your wisdom and I really want to learn how to meditate. I feel that my life is too busy, and I want to find peace in my soul," Nam said. Zen Master Thich opened his eyes and looked at Nam with a kind gaze. "When your mind is filled with worries, ambitions, and incessant thoughts, there will be no room for peace. Meditation is a way to empty the mind, just like we empty this bowl. Let's begin by listening to your breath. Meditation is not a technique, but a state of mind. It requires you to let go of worries and thoughts about the past and the future. Are you ready to learn?" he asked. Nam nodded, filled with determination. "I am ready." The monk led Nam to a seat by the lake. The gentle sunlight filtered through the branches, creating shimmering patches of light on the water's surface. The lake was crystal clear, reflecting the image of fluffy white clouds drifting lazily in the sky. Nam felt the fresh and peaceful atmosphere, but his heart remained heavy with the burdens of life. First, sit comfortably. Allow your body to relax, but maintain an upright posture. "Close your eyes and take a deep breath," the monk said, his voice as soothing as a flowing stream. Nam followed the instructions, feeling his breath. He inhaled, feeling the cool air fill his lungs, then exhaled, letting all tension wash away. The monk continued, "Focus on your breath. Feel the air entering and leaving your body. When other thoughts arise, gently bring your attention back to your breath." Listening to the monk, Nam tried to concentrate, but soon thoughts about work and worries flooded back. He felt a bit uncomfortable. "Dear monk, I can't stop thinking about work and my anxieties," he confessed, his voice filled with confusion. The monk smiled, his gaze warm like spring sunshine. "That's normal," he said slowly. "Our minds are like monkeys, always jumping from branch to branch. But remember, meditation is a process of practice." Nam nodded, feeling a bit lighter. "But I want to learn quickly. I don't want to be held back by these thoughts," he said, his tone somewhat impatient. "Take your time, you will learn to manage your mind," the monk said. Meditation is not about eliminating thoughts, but about observing them without getting caught up. Think of your thoughts as clouds drifting across the sky. They come and go, and you don't need to chase after them. Nam sighed, feeling the difficulty of letting go of thoughts. For a businessman like him, controlling everything was essential. He was used to planning, making quick decisions, and handling crises. But now, in this moment of silence, he felt lost. "Dear monk, I'm used to acting immediately. It's hard for me to sit still and do nothing," Nam shared. "That is one of the traps of modern life," the monk replied. "We get caught up in the whirlwind of work and responsibilities, forgetting that sometimes what we need to do is simply sit back and listen to ourselves." Nam thought about this. He had spent too much time on work without dedicating enough time to himself. The busyness had left him tired and exhausted. Now, sitting in meditation, he realized he needed to change. "How can I incorporate meditation into my busy life?" Nam asked, his eyes filled with hope. "Start with small moments," the monk advised. "When you eat, eat slowly. When you work, pay attention to each task. Take a few minutes each day to meditate, even if you can only sit for a few minutes. Gradually, you will see the difference." Nam decided to try what the monk had suggested. He began by taking the time to eat more slowly. Each morning, he spent a few minutes meditating before starting his day. Although thoughts still frequently arose, he tried not to let them dominate his mind. A month passed, and Nam felt he had changed. He no longer felt the pressure he once did, replaced instead by an unusual sense of peace. The work was still there, but now he could face it with a clearer mind. One afternoon, after finishing an important meeting, Nam decided to seek out the monk. He wanted to share with him the changes he had experienced. "Master, I feel my life has improved. I am no longer swept away by worries as I was before," Nam said, his eyes shining. "That is the result of your practice," the monk replied, his voice filled with satisfaction. "But remember, meditation is a journey without an endpoint. You need to continue practicing to keep your mind calm." Nam continued to visit the lakeside weekly to meet the monk. Each time, he learned valuable lessons. The monk taught him not only about how to meditate but also about how to live. He emphasized that life is not just about work, but also about connecting with oneself and with those around us. One afternoon, the monk reminded Nam about caring for others. "Take the time to listen to those around you," he said. "This connection will bring you much joy and happiness." Nam applied this to his life. He began to spend more time with his family and friends. Each evening, he took time to talk with his wife and children instead of focusing solely on work. He felt the warmth and love within his family, something he had missed before. However, life is not always smooth. One day, Nam faced a major crisis at work. The pressure from the company and his employees made him feel stressed. Nam turned to the monk, feeling weighed down. "Master, I feel like everything is collapsing. I don't know what to do," he said, his voice filled with worry. The monk looked at him with a calm gaze. "Sit down and meditate for a bit. Let your mind settle. When you feel clearer, you will know what to do," he said. Nam followed his advice, sitting down and closing his eyes. He took deep breaths, feeling each breath come in and out. This time, it wasn't just about observing thoughts but also about accepting his emotions. He realized that anxiety would not help him solve the problem, it would only make things worse. After meditating, Nam felt his mind was lighter. He began to analyze the situation more clearly and identify feasible solutions. Instead of panicking, he decided to focus on improving his product and enhancing customer service. Nam started holding meetings with his team to listen to their opinions. He encouraged everyone to contribute ideas and participate in product improvement. Through these conversations, he realized the power of teamwork was significant. Everyone wanted to contribute and see the value in their work. As time passed, Nam not only overcame the crisis but also grew stronger than before. His business began to regain its momentum, and everyone in the company felt more energized. He recognized that success not only came from hard work but also from creating a positive and creative work environment. Nam continued to meet with the Zen Master, not only to learn meditation but also to share his successes and challenges in life. With each meeting, he felt himself growing. The Zen Master always encouraged him to maintain his spirit, no matter what happened. Ultimately, Nam realized that meditation was not just a relaxation technique but also a way of life. It helped him find peace within himself and connect with those around him. With each passing day, he felt life becoming more meaningful, and he no longer felt pressured by work. The way to meditate according to Buddhist teachings. Through the experience of meditation and a sincere desire to learn from the Buddha's teachings, to truly meditate and reap the benefits of meditation, one must prioritize the practice of sitting meditation. Meditation techniques. By revisiting each of the Buddha's teachings in the Sakaka Sutta, the four foundations of mindfulness, the body awareness, and mindfulness of breathing, a practitioner of meditation will find three techniques shared by the Buddha. 1. Mindfulness, sati. Mindfulness is understood as simple acknowledgement. It involves recognizing what is happening without subjectivity, without participating in emotions or perceptions. As the Buddha said, mindfulness here means acknowledging and being aware of the breath as it is. There are no thoughts, no desires, no judgments, no interference, and no imposition. To allow the body, mind, breath, and external world to be natural, the practitioner of meditation has only one requirement: observe and acknowledge. The goal of mindfulness is to achieve a liberated mind. 2. Contemplation. Contemplation is understood as intentional acknowledgement. It differs from mindfulness in that it is intentional and not merely. In contemplation, rather than simply acknowledging, as in mindfulness, one acknowledges according to their intention. As the Buddha said, contemplation means, first and foremost, having an intention, and then acknowledging according to that intention. The guidance feel the whole body, I will breathe in, the practitioner trains, feel the whole body, I will breathe out, the practitioner trains clearly shows that the practitioner breathes with awareness and subjectively acknowledges the sensations of their entire body. The purpose of contemplation is to see the truth of the body, mind, and the external world, achieving liberating wisdom. 3. Focusing the mind. Focusing the mind is understood as directing one's thoughts towards a goal and fulfilling a purpose. For those with a mind of liberation and liberating wisdom, focusing the mind is a way to harness spiritual power. The great Sakaka Sutta records how the Buddha, by using the method of focusing the mind, achieved clear insight and recalled his entire past, with a calm, pure, clear, untainted mind, free from affliction, gentle, easy to use, stable, and serene. I direct my mind, focusing it on the knowledge of past lives. I remember my past lives, such as 1 life, 2 lives, 3 lives, 4 lives, 5 lives, 10 lives, 20 lives, 30 lives, 40 lives, 50 lives, 100 lives, 1,000 lives, countless eons, many formations and dissolutions. I remember at that place, I had this name, this lineage, this class, experienced this kind of suffering and happiness, and lived to this age. After dying at that place, I was reborn at another place. There, I had this name, this lineage, this class, experienced this kind of suffering and happiness, and lived to this age. Purpose of meditation. Once one has grasped the techniques of meditation, it is essential for practitioners to clearly understand their purpose in meditation to achieve effective results. Without a clear purpose, it can be challenging for meditators to maintain the enthusiasm, diligence, and patience necessary to attain their goals. In the teachings on mindfulness of breathing, the 4 foundations of mindfulness, or the body awareness meditation, the Buddha clearly outlines the goals and outcomes of practice. For example, in the 4 foundations of mindfulness, the Buddha states, "Monks, this is the only way, the 4 foundations of mindfulness, leading to purification for beings, to overcome sorrow and grief, to extinguish suffering, to achieve true wisdom, and to realize nirvana." Thus, the purpose of meditation, according to the Buddha, is very clear: to overcome sorrow and grief, to extinguish suffering, to achieve true wisdom, and to realize nirvana. In the Discourse on Body Awareness Meditation, the Buddha also enumerates 10 outcomes of this practice for meditators to recognize and set their intentions. 1. The joy of overcoming discomfort. The practitioner can subdue joy that is not overwhelmed, and they live always in mastery over the arising of discomfort. 2. Fear and anxiety being subdued. The practitioner can master fear that is not overwhelmed, and they are always in control of arising fears. 3. Endurance against heat, cold, hunger, thirst, and various discomforts. The practitioner can endure sensations of pain, discomfort, severe pain, and unbearable sensations leading to fainting. 4. Achieving the 4 jhanas, at will, without difficulty, exhaustion, or wasted effort, they attain pure mental states and live happily in the present. 5. Acquiring various supernatural abilities. The practitioner can manifest many forms from a single body, traverse walls, mountains, and air as if through space, emerge from the ground as if from water, walk on water without sinking, sit cross-legged in the air like a bird, and touch the moon and sun with their hand, demonstrating great power and supernatural abilities, capable of flying up to the Brahma realm. 6. With pure divine ear, one can hear 2 types of sounds, those of devas and humans, whether far or near. 7. With their mind, they can know the minds of various beings and people. The mind with desire knows the mind with desire. The mind without desire knows the mind without desire. The mind with aversion knows the mind with aversion. The mind without aversion knows the mind without aversion. The mind with ignorance knows the mind with ignorance. The mind without ignorance knows the mind without ignorance. The focused mind knows the focused mind. The distracted mind knows the distracted mind. The mind with great intention knows the mind with great intention. The mind without great intention knows the mind without great intention. The mind that has not attained the supreme knows the mind that has not attained the supreme. The supreme mind knows the supreme mind. The meditative mind knows the meditative mind. The mind without meditation knows the mind without meditation. The liberated mind knows the liberated mind. The mind not liberated knows the mind not liberated. 8. They remember past lives, whether 1 life, 2 lives, 3 lives, 4 lives, 5 lives, 10 lives, 20 lives, 30 lives, 40 lives, 50 lives, 100 lives, 200 lives, 1,000 lives, 100,000 lives, recalling past lives with general outlines and specific details. 9. With pure divine eye, one sees the lives and deaths of beings. They clearly know that beings who are lowly, noble, beautiful, ugly, fortunate, or unfortunate are all due to their karmic actions. 10. With the eradication of defilements, after personally realizing with higher wisdom, they achieve and dwell in the present, with a liberated mind and wisdom free from defilements. Meditation posture. With the techniques and purpose in place, the meditator is considered adequately prepared to practice and attain their goals. The energy of earnestness and diligence will provide them with the perseverance and creativity necessary to progress well on the path of meditation. It is important to note that it is the mind that meditates, not the body. The body will follow the mind. However, sitting still in the lotus position is encouraged by the Buddha. 1. Sitting still. Choose a quiet, airy space that suits your needs. Selecting a forest, a tree, or an empty house, as suggested by the Buddha, is ideal for meditation. Sit in a lotus position or half lotus, cross-legged, keeping your back straight, naturally, without forcing it, returning to the present moment and acknowledging the state of your body and mind. If you have health issues, you can sit comfortably on a chair. 2. Mindfulness of breathing. Once you are seated, as described above, gently close your eyes and become aware of your breath as it flows in and out. Completely relax, noting each inhale and exhale, while being aware of the state of your body and mind without judgment or imposing any value system. Be natural and still, feeling the vibrations of life occurring within your body, mind, and surroundings. Acknowledge simply. Feel simply. Know simply. Allow the world and yourself to be as they are, maintaining a clear awareness. Relaxed, innocent, tranquil, and clear with each breath. Let go of the past and future. Rest in mindfulness, simple acknowledgement, in the present moment. Here and now is your entire self, your true existence. Without seeking, worrying, or dreaming, the meditator sits still with a calm mind, attentively aware of the breath as it is. Thus, the practitioner is engaging in mindfulness of breathing in a sitting position, mindfulness of breathing meditation. Sitting still and practicing mindfulness of breathing is the fundamental meditation practice taught by the Buddha. It forms the basic foundation of meditation according to him. The texts on the 4 foundations of mindfulness, body awareness meditation, and mindfulness of breathing record the Buddha's guidance for practitioners of this basic meditation. Here, a monk should go to a forest, or to the foot of a tree, or to an empty house and sit cross-legged, with a straight back, and establish mindfulness before him. Mindfully, he breathes in. Mindfully, he breathes out. If he breathes in long, he knows, I am breathing in long. If he breathes out long, he knows, I am breathing out long. If he breathes in short, he knows, I am breathing in short. If he breathes out short, he knows, I am breathing out short. If practiced well for 30 to 45 minutes, sitting still and mindful of breathing can bring great peace to the mind and health to the body. A sense of relaxation, tranquility, and bliss envelopes the practitioner's body and mind. Their life becomes vibrant, filled with compassion, and they learn to cherish themselves and all beings. Of course, anyone who practices sitting still and mindfulness of breathing for many hours and extends mindfulness into walking, standing, lying down, sitting, speaking, and acting can also develop concentration, enter deeper states of meditation, and achieve liberation of the mind. 3. Contemplation. If sitting still and mindful of breathing becomes difficult due to intrusive thoughts, the meditator can shift to contemplation of the breath. The practice is as follows: remain seated, but instead of merely acknowledging the breath, the meditator can mentally note inhale when breathing in and exhale when breathing out, using inhale and exhale with intention and feeling the vibrant, fresh life of body and mind. The average practice time is about 30 to 45 minutes. When the mind feels more tranquil and fewer distractions arise, one can return to practicing mindfulness of breathing to delve deeper into stillness and develop concentration. For those who fear death or are heavily attached to reputation and self-identity, contemplation on the 5 aggregates, body, feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness, is encouraged. The practice is as follows: to contemplate effectively, one needs to understand the Buddha's teachings on the non-self of the 5 aggregates in a seated position. With awareness of the breath, the meditator feels the life and inner tranquility within themselves, contemplating the body and recognizing it as the body, contemplating feelings and recognizing them as feelings, contemplating perceptions and recognizing them as perceptions, contemplating mental formations and recognizing them as mental formations, contemplating consciousness and recognizing it as consciousness. Practicing this recognition and clearly seeing each aggregate, as above, proficiently, one then contemplates, the 5 aggregates are not me. I am not the 5 aggregates. Using this recognition, with the eye of the mind, observe each aggregate and clearly see that the body and mind are nothing but a natural combination of the 5 aggregates. They are impermanent and lack a self. Once proficient in the contemplation, the 5 aggregates are not me. I am not the 5 aggregates. Continue with the contemplation. The 5 aggregates are not mine. The 5 aggregates are conditionally arisen and impermanent. The depth of this contemplation should be matched by the clarity of the mind's eye. Finally, contemplate. Attachment to the 5 aggregates leads to suffering. Non-attachment to the 5 aggregates leads to the cessation of suffering. Again, the depth of this contemplation should match the clarity of the mind's eye. By practicing contemplation on the 5 aggregates in this way until skilled, the practitioner will not cling to self-identity, will not fear death, and will not seek fame. In cases where someone is overly attached to the body and heavily influenced by sensual desires, contemplation on the impurity of the body is encouraged. How to practice? In a seated position, with awareness of the breath, the meditator feels the life, allowing the body and mind to relax naturally, then begins to contemplate the impurity of the body. This includes hair, nails, teeth, skin, flesh, sinews, bones, marrow, kidneys, heart, liver, spleen, lungs, intestines, etc. Mentally note each part, as above. As you note, your mind should recognize each part clearly. Recognize each part as impure and see that the body is composed of these impure components, which are also impure and decay over time. If one becomes proficient in contemplating the impurity of the body, the mind will become disenchanted and detached from physical form. The meditator will then know how to use the body wisely, actively, and beneficially for themselves and all beings. The meditator will be able to dwell freely and can easily detach from worldly desires. Directing the mind. Once one has entered the states of meditation and achieved pure mindfulness, the meditator can learn from the Buddha to intentionally direct the mind towards past lives, recalling their previous existences, recollection of past lives. One can also direct the mind to develop supernatural powers and perceive the past lives of others, divine eye. Specifically, in the pre-meditation phase, intentionally directing the mind helps to focus and enhance concentration. The intentional direction of the mind is also a means of sending mental energy effectively to both the visible and invisible worlds. The method for intentionally directing the mind to send mental energy is as follows. In a seated position, allow the breath to be natural and the body and mind to relax. If you wish to send mental energy to someone, verbally express or mentally note what you want to convey, then direct all your feelings, sincerity, and goodwill towards that person. You can focus your mind for about 5 minutes at a time. Between sessions of directing the mind, return to focusing on your breath and fully dwell in mindfulness in the present moment. If you want to stabilize your mind, the meditator can practice directing the mind as follows. Still in a seated position, allow the breath to be natural and the body and mind to relax, then mentally note or verbally say the intention calm. Every few minutes, repeat the intention calm. Continue repeating this intention until the designated meditation time is complete. It is important to always be aware of your breath, keeping the mind in a state of release, relaxation, and freshness throughout the process of directing the mind. If you wish to let go of a past experience, abandon a habit, cultivate love, forgive, or simply nurture a certain aspiration, you can apply this method of directing the mind for that purpose. Just change the intention from calm to another phrase, such as let go. A key point for success is that when you direct the mind, allow that mental energy to permeate every cell, saturate the space around you, and vibrate the life within each of your cells and every living atom in the surrounding space, before then directing your mind. Ending meditation. In the initial stages of seated meditation practice, practitioners are encouraged to sit for 30 to 45 minutes. Depending on the stillness of the mind and the comfort of the body, meditators can gradually increase their sitting time to 60, 90, or even 120 minutes. After the meditation session, a relaxation period of 3 to 5 minutes is recommended. During this time, the meditator can stretch their legs, massage their face and lower back, or gently move their body as needed. In meditation centers, this post-meditation relaxation is known as ending meditation. The steps for ending meditation are as follows. 1. Swallow saliva. 2. Inhale deeply through the nose, then exhale fully through the mouth. 3. Lean back, open your eyes wide, let your arms hang loosely, and lower your head to touch your chin to your chest, tilting your head to the right and left. 4. Raise both shoulders, bringing them down to touch your neck. 5. Clench both fists tightly. 6. Rub your hands together to warm them. 7. Massage your arm muscles. 8. Squeeze the thigh and knee muscles. 9. Bend forward from the waist. 10. Lean to each side of your knees. 11. Spread your legs and massage your calves and feet. 12. Stretch your legs straight, placing your hands on the ground. 13. Shake your body side to side. 14. Return your legs to the lotus position. 15. Clench your fists and tense your entire body. 16. Bring your hands together in a prayer position for mindfulness and dedication. 17. Recite aloud or mentally the dedication. May the merit of this practice be dedicated to all beings, that they may awaken, that the Dharma may flourish, that love may always be present, and that peace may be established. May this merit connect with good conditions, nurture a grateful heart, live in peace and mindfulness, free from attachment and let go, directing the mind towards tranquility. 18. Bow to conclude. Step-by-step blooming of the lotus. When first practicing meditation, practitioners may encounter various physical or mental phenomena. In such cases, it is suggested that they ask themselves why these experiences are occurring and seek guidance from experienced meditators for support. Perseverance is always praised in meditation practice. Living ethically, maintaining discipline, and cultivating compassion are incredibly effective aids in achieving success in meditation.